What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. Totally kidding, I hate that. I have the hiccups. Are they gone? Okay. I'm gonna be doing a watch through, I'm gonna watch the Vampire Diaries. That is the whole point of what I'm trying to say. I'm just gonna update this vlog after I've finished an episode or after something significant happens. Just season by season. I have no clue what happens in this show. I've never seen any spoilers. Anything on TikTok, I just scrolled past because it didn't make sense to me. I was a little worried it was like supernatural because they're vampires, so logically it is. But I've just kind of grown up and decided that I'm just gonna watch it. So come on this journey with me and let's watch the Vampire Diaries. Wow. We have a lot to unpack. First off, Mystic Falls couldn't sound any more supernatural. What did they expect? Of course there's vampires. Stefan could not pass for a high school student. He looks at least 25. Look, all of the knowledge I have from vampires is from Twilight. Obviously not a great source. Vampires just have mind control all of a sudden. What is this, like Star Wars?
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Super speed, super hearing also. And like, Damon can control fog and crows. Not sure I'm feeling about that. Why is Elena? Why is she not like concerned that Stefan just keeps appearing out of the blue? I'd be worried. This has got to be a CW show. I have agreed not to Google a single thing, and therefore I am not, but this has got to be a CW show. The music, amazing. Whoever did the first episode soundtrack deserves a raise. Obviously, it's not fair to make this assumption, but Mr. Tanner, I don't know what I can say on YouTube. He looks like he's gonna try and sleep with a student. Hopefully he doesn't. Okay, to wrap up episode 1, I have made a list of who I liked and who I didn't like. So to start it off, Elena, the main character, loved her. Aunt Jenna, like the cool aunt, I'm here for it. I like Vicky. She just seems like, she seems lost in life, you know? I just feel bad for her. Matt. I really like Matt. He reminds me of Matt Saracen from Friday Night Lights. He's really wholesome. And Matt just seems like a really good guy. On to the list of people that could. Next episode, I'd be okay with it. Jeremy. He looks like a broody, straight version of Eric Vanderwoodson. That's not why I don't like him. Like, grow up. Just grow up. Bonnie, I'm not like really into the whole witch psychic thing, so I don't really like Bonnie. Candace. Just looking at her, I can tell she has daddy issues. Let's just get rid of Candace altogether. Tyler, him and Vicky were making out on that tree. Tyler, I don't like Tyler. And last but not least, Damon. Not a fan of Damon. I was talking to somebody and they were like, yeah, I'm team Damon. And I was like, how can you be team Damon? This guy's like a total jerk. But for right now, somebody stake Damon. That's all I've got for episode 1. I will now immediately watch episode 2. Guys, this episode, wow. I think I'm hooked, okay? When you lose someone, it stays with you, always reminding you of how easy it is to get hurt. That took my heart out of my body and ripped it into shreds. Such a good line. Who wrote that? Somebody find out who wrote that, because that is so good. Now, I am confused about how they turn into vampires, because I thought like if you get bitten by a vampire, you turn into one. Everybody's getting bitten and they're not turning into them. It's frustrating. I'm gonna watch episode 3 right now. Why does Tanner literally, Mr. Tanner, whatever, why does he have beef with Stefan? Like, sorry that this guy knows more than you? Grow up, maybe? I don't understand why they can't step in a house, into her house, without being invited in. I'm probably gonna find out, but I don't understand. Is it a vampire thing, or does it have to do with her parents, maybe? Oh, that could be good. I might be onto something. And then flash forward, Tanner's dead, which is great. Tanner's gone. I'm okay with that. I didn't like him. Stefan and Damon's obsession with Elena is a little bit weird. I think I missed something. Because, like, why do they like her so much? Maybe they'll tell me later. She's just an ordinary girl in an ordinary world. It's not an ordinary world. There are vampires all around her. Oh, and we're gonna add to the list of people that I hated. That news anchor. He just, like, gives me the ick. So I did watch 2 in a row. Vervain. Vervain, is that what it's called? Why is there always, like, a weakness for whatever supernatural being there is? And then also, so in episode 5, we got a little visit from Glenda. If you don't know who Glenda is, she's that goth girl from One Tree Hill. Glenda, welcome to the show. But also Elena. At the very end of this episode, she, like, is trying to, like, map out everything about how he's a vampire and she's, like, figured it out. Like, she seems really calm. Okay, so the reveal in this episode of her, like, confronting Stefan to be like, what are you? And he's like, you know what I am. For starters, ew. Hated that. But also, still, she's not reacting very strongly. If I found out someone was a vampire, I'd be like, prove it. I really panicked. I panicked because I thought Vicky was dead. She's turning into a vampire, right? Is that what's happening? I don't understand the process of turning into a vampire in this show. I think Vicky is becoming a vampire. Damon was like, you're gonna die, and then just cracked her neck. And I was like, oh, I was like crying for a second. I was like, Vicky, and then all of a sudden she was just alive again. And I was like, hey, I mourned for nothing. Vicky's still alive, huge plus. But that's all I got from episode 6. Vicky's dead. I thought, nope, she's just gonna pop right back up again. No, she's dead. May she rest in peace. Okay, now that I'm over that, I still don't understand this they have to be, like, invited into the house crap. Do vampires not trespass? A vampire show did not need a Halloween episode. It was already kind of spooky enough, and I did not need this. We're gonna come back tomorrow, and we're gonna just try and make it through now that Vicky's gone. Rip Vicky. Okay, episode 8. Who is Lexi? Lexi just appeared. Is she not Vanessa from 90210? Is that what her name was? Okay, if my friend shut all the windows and started levitating feathers around me after ripping my pillow up, I don't think I'd be like, oh, this is so cool. Elena was too chill. If that was me, I would have been like, hey, do you want to go on a road trip to Salem? And also, let me bring my matchbox. I do really feel bad for Matt. I've liked Matt since the beginning. He's been on my like list. And I just, he's so lonely. And he just, like, wants Vicky back. And surprise, Matt, Vicky's dead. And nobody's telling him. Poor Matt. If I did have to pick anybody on this show to be a vampire without knowing, I would pick Caroline because she's literally white as a ghost. She is as pale as they come, Caroline. Still not a fan of her. I don't think Lexi's dead. I'm trying to have an open mind. I think Damon knows how much Lexi means to Stefan, and so I'm convinced that somehow she's still alive. I don't know how, don't ask me for logistics, but I do think she's still alive. Wow. Okay. Episode 9 has a lot to be unpacked, so I'm going to try and rifle through it as quick as I can because I don't want to waste a lot of time. There's still like 15 episodes or something. For starters, Maya from PLL, that's Emily. Didn't like her on PLL. Don't like her on this show. I remember earlier being like, I think I missed something about Catherine and Elena. It's because they look the same. Just wanted to let you all know. I didn't say anything earlier. I forgot. It's because they're doppelgangers. And then let's talk about Catherine for a minute. Damon's gonna just bring her back from the dead. Like, she was so manipulative. And, like, she was, like, a reverse polygamist or something. Like, Why would you bring her back? The entirety of this necklace is spooky for me, and I'm not here for it. I'm not enjoying it. The whole Caroline, Elena, and Bonnie trying to like get a hold of Emily. I didn't skip it, but I wish I had. Because there's so much of a crossover here, because it was Emily, but it was also Bonnie, I'm gonna call them Bonily. That's how I'm gonna refer to them. So Bonily can just like use the Force. She just like uses the Force, and Damon's up against a tree. Where did that come from? And what is with needing to be invited into the house? I'm really tired of trying to figure out what this is. I'm sure it's an Easter egg or it's alluding to something, but it's bothering me right now. It is. It's bothering me. And then Bonily was like in that fire circle thing. I don't like Caroline still. I really do love Matt, and I kind of ship Caroline and Matt. They're cute. Also, Bonnie is a witch. You just lit a fire using a Harry Potter spell. You don't get to be confused that a vampire bit you. Just Stefan and Elena in general, I really ship them. I don't know what their, like, relationship name is. I'm thinking Alephin, potentially Stana, or, Stelina. One of those three, I will be referring to them because I ship them. A lot of shipping happening in this episode. Last but not least, Logan, the awful, horrible, horrific, hate him news anchor, is still alive. He asked to be invited in, which means he's a vampire. Am I right? Guess we'll find out next episode. Episode 10 was just watched. I feel exhausted. I am exhausted. Wow. Let me just say that I was right about Logan. Logan, the guy that we didn't like. He just gave me bad vibes. Then he dies. I'm like, oh, Logan's dead. Whatever. No. Logan's back. And Logan is the worst. Damon did say to Logan, he's like, if you have vampire blood in your system when you die, then you become a vampire. But how did he get vampire blood in his system when he died? Didn't Damon kill him? It was so long ago. Something isn't adding up here. The math isn't mathing. I don't know, Jeremy looked like a completely different person in this episode. I think it's the same guy, but something was different about him. Maybe his face matured. But I'll tell you for free, his character did not mature, alright? Him shoving Tyler up against that locker just because Tyler made a comment about Vicky that was kind of true. Jeremy, grow up. Caroline, this poor girl, is just getting tossed around and used by vampires left, right, and center. Every single vampire that comes onto the show is using Caroline somehow. It's only episode 10, and Elena told Stefan that she loves him. I don't know what the time frame is in this whole thing, but that seems like really soon. Now, I didn't peg Tyler to have daddy issues, but he does. He very much does. I don't even know his dad's name. I think he's the mayor. Regardless of who he is, he shoved Tyler, and I have a pretty good feeling that he isn't a good dad. Jail time for the mayor. Logan died, and that was the best thing that could have happened in this episode. Now, I don't, like, was it that teacher that killed him? Who is this teacher? I did see that coming when Elena got up and was walking around Stefan's room. I was like, well, obviously she's gonna find the picture of Catherine. And then they just had to toss in this car accident. Is she okay? Like, what is going on? This was a wild end. Honorable mentions, number 1, Stefan got hotter this episode, and number 2, Matt in that tank top. Real good. I'm gonna watch episode 11 right now. Okay, this episode was jam-packed. Let's just dive in. Elena's laying in this car, and then this guy is like snapping all of his bones back into place, and I'd be terrified because like clearly this guy's a vampire. And then Damon's saving her from the car. That's not what I saw coming. The wildest part of it all was when Damon was holding her in his arms. All she says is, "I look like her," and then she passes out. I was like, oh, that was really good writing. He doesn't take her to a hospital or anything. He's like, yeah, I checked, you don't have any broken bones. I'm like, okay, first off, you're not a doctor. Second off, you're not a CT or an MRI. And third, she could have internal bleeding or a concussion. Did you check for that, Damon? Damon did earn some good points because he saved her. I did think it was illegal to flee the scene of an accident, though. If you were involved in it, I don't think you can just leave. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's a Canadian thing. When they went to visit Bree, I think was her name, Bree called that guy and he walked in. I was like, is that Tyler from the future? He wasn't. It was Lexi's boyfriend. Did not see that one coming. I didn't have Elena saving Damon on my season 1 bingo card, so that was insane. Elena walks into Stefan's room and she's like, tell me everything. He starts dropping truth bombs. Number 1, he saved her from the accident. Number 2, he's been stalking her for months. And number 3, she's adopted. These are intense truth bombs. He dropped all of this on her while she probably has a concussion. Like, poor Elena. I feel bad for her at this point. She needs to go see a doctor and go to bed and take some Tylenol. We get that teacher guy again and that girl laying in bed, and I did have a pretty good feeling a vampire killed his girlfriend, or his wife, or whoever that was. That I was pretty confident in that. So no surprise there. Wow. First 11 episodes was a lot. There was a lot of really good stuff in there. But this has been season 1 part 1, and I'm looking forward to season 1 part 2. Yeah. Gosh. What a show. Honestly, what a show. This is good. Vampire Diaries.